Hello, everybody, friends and foes, water lovers, and everybody else. Welcome to another episode of Water is the New Gold. I'm Tommy V, your water doctor. Today, I want to talk about PFAS chemicals, or as they're known, perfluoroalkyl substances. Unless you've been asleep or on the moon, you've heard about PFAS chemicals. They're called the forever chemical. They're pervasive. They're everywhere. They're in our bodies. They're in our environment, in our water, and they seem to be a big problem. Recently, President Trump has deregulated the release of PFAS chemicals. Now, on the surface, this sounds like a terrible thing, something that exposes us to potential harm. Whether that's the case or not, we're going to discuss that a little bit later in the video, but for now, I'd like to illuminate a few things about PFAS chemicals that maybe you don't know. PFAS chemicals were discovered by accident in 1938 by a DuPont scientist named Roy Plunkett. The chemicals seemed to have a lot of promising properties to him. So DuPont went about the course of getting this thing approved by the government and then released in consumer products, which they did in 1945 in the form of Teflon. Along the way, there were some skeptics and some critics who challenged DuPont, recognizing very early on that this was a harmful substance. However, DuPont finagled their recipe a little bit, slid it by the critics, got government to approve it, and again in 1945 we had our first non-stick cookware. Today, you find these PFAS chemicals everywhere. They're in fire retardant foam, the chemicals they drop down from airplanes to quench forest fires have PFAS in it, which is a real sore spot with me because you have the ocean nearby and we have pipes and pump technology, but that's a separate issue. You also find PFAS in pizza boxes, lipstick, automobile interiors, disposable cups. It's everywhere. And you ask yourself, how did it come to be this pervasive? Well, DuPont recognized the chemical properties of this, and it has chemical properties that if you want to build a durable product with an advantage, well, the PFAS chemicals offer you that. They're water and oil repellent, so if you're making furniture and automobile fabric, camping gear, tent gear, it's great that you have something that repels liquid. Also, from our discussion of Teflon, you know that it's non-stick. So pizza boxes and frying pans, it's a great thing. Also, PFAS chemicals are very heat resistant. So if you make a product with PFAS chemicals, it's going to last a long time. It's also these chemicals are very resistant to scrubbing and to physical degradation. Again, it makes this attractive to manufacturers. And then finally, PFAS chemicals are really great lubricants. And if you look a lot of the synthetic greases and oils, you'll find chemicals that have crazy names, but if you look close enough, you'll see the fluoride compound, which hints at there being PFAS chemicals in these products. So now we get into the conversation, the debate of why President Trump, would deregulate PFAS chemicals. The reason behind this really is scientifically sound and it's logical. Right now, there is no practical technology to destroy PFAS. We can filter it out. I get calls all the time to design water systems that will take out PFAS. The problem with filtration in PFAS is once you take it out, you have to do something with that filter. And usually that means going to a landfill where it just leaches back out into the environment and we consume that which we haven't yet consumed. So, one of the problems with regulating this is that we're going to find municipalities and corporations who release the stuff, but they really have no mechanism to treat it. So instead of developing technology to defeat this pervasive chemical, we have companies and municipalities paying fines. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense either if we want to make progress to defeating this problem. So it remains to be seen whether this is just a first step, which I hope it is and I think it is, and we'll see more funding going to research to defeat this, to destroy the product, to protect us from PFAS, as opposed to just randomly finding a lot of companies and making life tough on them. So we'll see what happens. I will put a blog post on my website. There's some graphic and technical information if you want to take a look at. I'll upload the files. My website's wateristheNewGold.com. Check it out. I hope you subscribe to it, and I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd like to hear from you. Send me your questions. Let's talk about water. Let's talk about the environment. And remember, water is the new gold.